So
Right.
here today on the Brink, I am joined by the multi-talented singer, producer, writer, musician, Tel Aviv.
Hey, what's up? What's good?
So we're in the Holy Land.
What's up? What's going on?
How you doing,
I'm
man?
doing all right. How are you doing?
I can't. I don't want to. I'm thriving.
You're thriving?
I don't like to say I can't complain anymore because
I'm flourishing.
you're. Yes,
Right.
thriving and flourishing.
There you go.
Living in abundance.
Okay. All right. Cool. In the promised land,
In
right?
the promised land.
Right.
In this holy land.
All right. Cool. Yeah. A lot of people think I'm ethnically ambiguous. Like
I would say
they can't
ambiguous,
really they can't really like pinpoint. Oh, is he Middle Eastern? Like I always get Middle Eastern. Like some dude started speaking to me in like Farsi or something one time.
Oh my god!
Like, and I'm like, homie, I don't know, I don't know what the fuck, I don't know what you're talking. Yeah, I was but it's cool, whatever. Like I'm Mexican, I guess, but I like Tel Aviv. The reason why I decided to pick that name for the project that I'm working on, first and foremost, there's a couple of reasons. One being like, I wanted a name that like people could recognize. You know what I mean? Like I wanted like a major city, like something that was kind of like people kind of heard the name of, but something foreign enough that not a lot of people kind of knew. Tel Aviv being like a city in Israel. I don't know if it was the capital or if it still is the capital. I'm not too sure, but it's like
neither.
You
So
but
I'm not able to verify.
no, yeah. You know what I mean though, because I wanted something that was like it sounds to me like a metropolis, like a city from the future.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has this it sounds ethnic enough, it sounds foreign enough, it sounds like futuristic. I like the way it looks, like visually, because it's really symmetrical. Like it's nice to write out, it's nice to say. The the way I kind of imagine it, like Tel Aviv is. Again, I've never been there. I don't this is like my preconceived notion when I first heard the name. It's like it's this idea like you're out in the desert and you've been out for like 2 weeks or so, like a month or something, and you're just traveling by yourself. It's late at night, super late, super dark. You're out in the desert. You reach this hill, and from afar, from the horizon, you see this like bustling city, this metropolis, the city of the future. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the kind of like idea I get out of it. All these band names, and a lot of them have 3-syllable names. So to give you an example, you have the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Nirvana,
Def Leppard.
Tel Aviv, Black Sabbath.
Okay,
I'm not saying I'm anywhere
All right.
near those. You know what I mean?
No.
But like, I just thought it was a good idea. I tried to just be meticulous, but like.
But it's crazy because you mentioned the Beatles. I mentioned Def Leppard only because it was a rock band, classic rock band that came to my mind. 3 syllables. However, when I hear your music, I hear the Strokes.
Yeah, most definitely.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I hear Strokes. I hear a little bit of like the Who. Where is Tel Aviv?
It's this idea of just like leaving home, you know what I mean, and in doing something for yourself, having this kind of like this cut of land that's your own. Like something like I read a statistic one time that kind of made me sick, where it's like people spend their whole lives living within the same 50 miles. Like they die within like 50 miles of where they were born, and that really made me sick. Like I had to get out of where I was from.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Where are you from?
I am from the IE. I'm from Riverside.
The Inland Empire.
The Inland Empire. Yeah, that's kind of a regional thing for people that don't know, but it is.
That's how you and I connect, and I think that's why your story is close to me, and that's in part why it's close to home for me. Is you being from the same place that I'm from, in this place that is not Los Angeles.
Right.
It is close to Orange County, but it is not Orange County.
Yeah.
It has autonomy all on its own when it comes to being this region in Southern California, this Inland Empire.
Right.
Whenever I traveled and I went somewhere, when I went to Arizona for school, things like that, I say I'm from Southern California. Oh man, so you're from LA?
Nah,
man. I'm not from LA. I'm from, and then for me to specifically say that I am from Corona,
I can tell you right now, like for me personally, I kind of had to get out of that. I had to get out of the IE. Like, I didn't care for the not necessarily the people there. Like, I'm not trying to shit on the people, but like, why love a city that doesn't love you back? You know, like I'm trying to, be artistic. I'm trying to do, like push things out, push projects, like put on events and stuff. And it's hard when people, like, for starters, it's hard to get people to go to your show because, one, who the fuck are you? It's even harder to
True.
get people to go to your show and then pay for it
Mhm.
because there's no reason to do that. Like, it's even harder to get people to go to your show, pay for it, and then drive 20, 30 miles out. You feel me? And it's like it's not like I don't have love and support for the IE, but it's like it's hard to cater to an audience that doesn't care to be catered to. I don't know what the fuck the issue is with these people, like the IE Inland Empire Riverside mentality, where it's like it's so rigid. There's like that might be geographical, actually, just because like everything's kind of so spread out. Maybe there's not so many things to do like on a weekday as
Mhm.
opposed to like Los Angeles, any major city.
Yeah, we're too close to LA to have its own creative identity. Maybe.
The IE mentality is like I was saying before, it's very rigid. Like, let me give you like the traditional millennial like lifestyle. So you work a 9 to 5, which is not even true anymore. I'm just saying nine to
Mhm.
five because people, oh, I can't go, I gotta work Saturdays. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? But like, you work a 9 to 5, you take a couple classes, you're taking 2 classes or something at whatever fucking college. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? You do that. You're in a relationship. You see her once in a while, 3 days out of the week, maybe like every day, who like whatever, and then you have a Disney pass.
I think you run into that issue though anywhere you are, right?
That's
Of
very true.
just people that if you're not exactly in a metropolitan city where again everyone moves to Los Angeles, everyone moves to New York for that dream. They want to be able to literally wake up any time of night, go to a 24-hour cafe and be able to say, "Oh my god, I can go to like my favorite fresh juice place because it's 24 hours and go to the club." Like you go to Los Angeles for that damn reason. You
There,
know, you don't go to Riverside for that reason.
no, most definitely. There's a lot of like artistic like minded people. Like, that's the reason. Like, there is like an exodus from whatever major, whatever hometown to LA. We're lucky enough to have lived an hour away from it.
Sure.
I mean, me being here now, it's all fine and dandy, but it's like it's something that I had to do. Like, I had to get out of that mentality. I didn't like that kind of conformity. Like you feel me? Like, I don't know.
No, I get it, but but what you're getting on though, right? You don't like the conformity. You don't like having to pretty much settle
Yeah.
for, in to a degree. I think the Inland Empire, when you have an entrepreneurial and a creative spirit, the Inland Empire does feel in a degree like it's settling. You know, when you're young and entrepreneurial, when you're young and creative,
I'm
there is such a you can only get so large. Like I don't know how many king of the Inland Empires or queens of the Inland Empires do we know, right?
right.
If you are able to get big enough and garner any degree of support in the IE, you're going to leverage that in Los Angeles. You're going to leverage that in Orange County. You're going to leverage that in San Diego. You're going to leverage that in Vegas, Arizona, and continue from the Southwest onward.
Well, that's such a trip because the people that are big and successful, they don't even rep Riverside. They don't rep the IE.
Nah.
You have Ronda Rousey. She's from Riverside. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Because like not
Not
a
only
lot
because
of
you told me.
no, yeah, but like not a lot of people do though.
Yeah.
Or it's like I have a cousin who's friend or something. Like, she sees her at a Starbucks. She comes in with a hood.
Yeah.
For Rousey. Like, she does that shit. Like, you have that metal cover of Smooth Criminal, Alien Ant Farm, the band that had that one song.
Yeah.
They
Alien Ant Farm.
yeah,
Yes.
they live down the street from my house, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of bands that I used to play with when I was in like doing bands out there in Riverside, they would all like party and do fucking drugs with them. Like, it was cool.
Sure.
But I never got a chance to see them. Like, a lot of people, a lot of weird shit happened. But the like just people like Lil Xan's from Redlands.
I didn't know Lil Xan's from LA.
Lil Xan's from Redlands. Like, people don't rep it. Even
I don't
when
really
they're
don't
big,
even
they
know
don't rep
Lil
it.
Xan. I just know he's another. He's in the little echelon of young SoundCloud rappers.
No, I feel you. But it's just one of those things where it's like people don't like. Maybe it doesn't matter as much.
Why is that? Is there a degree of because for me, I can only rep the Inland Empire,
Right.
and there is a degree of pride that I have in it. I actually like when I can connect with somebody from anywhere in the Inland Empire.
Right.
You know, even if you're from Orange County, I'm still gonna like be able to kind of empathize with you. But I don't know Rancho Santa Margarita the way I know Riverside or the way I
Right,
know
right, right,
Ontario,
right.
right? Or just be able to like I couldn't grow up and say I was an Orange County kid. My dad worked in Orange County. You know, my mom worked in Southern California, Orange County, and also Riverside as well. But for me, I was from the IE, so it's like it's the best thing when it's like I can get on any platform and let somebody know I'm from the Ellen Empire. I'm from the IE. You know, and I just take so much pride in that because it's like I'm not gonna cop out and say I'm from Los Angeles because
Right.
I'm not. When I'm in Los Angeles, I don't feel like I'm Los Angeles. I feel like I'm here to play the Los Angeles game.
I think that's a good thing, to be honest, to not feel like that, because it's really easy. It's really easy to get lost in the sauce out here. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
There's so many things that you could do. You could get lost and find some shit to do. Like I walked into an art gallery looking for a show. Like I was trying to go look for like an event. Like I couldn't find it, but we went into this art gallery that was free and they had food and I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck. But it's just like there's just something always going on. But it like as long as you treat it like you're at home,
Yeah.
even if you're out here. Like as long as you treat and just like work on your craft, work on something, like work on whatever you're good at, you know, you
What
know.
is it that you're good at?
I mean, well, no, no, I guess, I mean, songwriting, recording, like singing. I guess I don't know. It's stuff that I don't. I feel like I don't put as much thought into. Like I could be a better guitar player. I could be a better producer, singer, whatever. It's like I think there's like a quality to like there being like uh it kind of shitty, maybe not like super shitty, like there's definitely a line, there's like a degree, but like that not giving a fuck, you know what I mean? But I mean I do all that. I guess, you know, there's kind of a process that I kind of go about. It's like a formula, like, and I'm sure like throughout all artistic outlets and avenues it's the same thing, but it's like I don't feel artistic because everything I do is like really like meticulous and
Mm-hmm.
like but at the same time I never thought like artistic was like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna close my eyes and feel with the canvas when I'm painting, and it's like that's I feel like that's stupid. Like, because even like Leonardo da Vinci had all those, like he was practicing with all those sketches and shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like with the human anatomy, like working it all out. The the way I set it up, it's like rules that kind of that I kind of have to fit in. So like whenever like the first being like if you're gonna play music, you're gonna be in a band, like you're gonna pull from whatever influences that you have. If you know if you make music and it doesn't add or push the genre forward, then you're generic off tops.
Yeah.
It like because you could easily say with a lot of these bands, and I'm not. It's not like I can name any off tops, but it's like if you hear a song, it's like, man, I've heard this song 10,000 times, but done better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's so easy to say that. There's
Yeah.
like what you want to do is you want to try to think that way. You want to like make music that subverts expectation. And this is like all good art where it's like you think something's going to happen but it doesn't. Something else happens.
Sure.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't expect that. That's kind of a beautiful thought. You know what I mean? In any art, really, to do something that you didn't see coming.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a lot of power in familiarity, though. So what you want to do is you want to mix those two together, right? And you want to bring them something that they think that they've heard before. Like that. Have you ever been to somewhere and you're like, man, I feel like I've heard this song before in my
Yeah.
life, but
Definitely.
I've never heard
But
it,
you never heard of it.
and
Yeah.
I can't pinpoint where this might have been. You know what I mean? You see what I'm
Because
saying?
it almost sounds like a culmination of things that you've heard.
No, but let me go ahead and just that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let me just go ahead, like this stuff is like intrinsically like
Yeah.
in us.
Yeah.
Like I truly believe this. Um like there was an interview with some band and they were talking about like, hey, what was your most recent memory with with like playing music? And the guy's like, I don't know, shaking a rattle. Like
Mm-hmm.
what kind of? But it's
Yeah.
like there's a lot of truth to that because it's
Yeah.
like we've done with like we're surrounded by music. We've like been around music all of our lives. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You ever hear a song that you've never heard but you could predict the lyrics?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
trained you are to that?
Yeah.
Isn't that something like interesting? You like, but that's kind of what, like sometimes it's good to be familiar. Other times it's like try to what you want to do is you want to challenge people. You want to stimulate them. You know, like there's a reason why people consider Bohemian Rhapsody like the greatest song of all time, or but like some metal song that like it's just speed shredding whatever like isn't considered that. There's like a middle ground. So you get too intense and it becomes static. You get too slow and it becomes boring. There's like there's a definitive middle ground that you kind of need to shoot for where it stimulates you. There's like that release of dopamine. You know what I mean? It like
and that's where you're and that's where XTelAviv is.
That's kind of what I try to do every time. The last thing lyrically, it's like it's the thing I put the least amount of thought into. It's just I don't like writing stuff like I don't like writing love songs, I guess. And I know that sounds stupid, but it's like there's to be honest, just to kind of throw the perspective out there, there's more to life than love. I'll say that.
True.
Like you can make shit about nothing.
Yeah.
You know, or like a specific moment in time or something relatable enough to where the person can put themselves into the position of the person singing, but like vague enough to where they don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Or they can empathize.
You feel me?
With the level that you're giving them.
Right.
There's a lot of surrender and not giving a fuck, right?
Yeah.
And more or less saying, I want to create this.
Right.
For you, it could be a song. For me, it could be an interview series. For me, it could be a DJ mix. It could be a show. You know, for you, it's a song. It's albums. It's music and art projects. Right.
Right.
There is there is so much strength and there's so much power in being able to say, this is what I want. Put it up right here on the wall.
Just do it.
And just do it.
Just fucking do it.
No. Do you have the voice of insert really great vocalist here? Maybe not. Right? Or do you have the piano skills of Duke Ellington? Maybe not.
Right.
But you have an insane amount of skill at those things, and you're able to propagate it into your own funnel and create this, you know, and that's what XTelAviv is.
I would say I'm pretty okay with at a lot of things, but all of those things cultivated together make it like so that I feel that whenever I'm in the room with a group of people or something, you want to have that kind of confidence where you feel like what you do, you're better than anyone else than at what they do. That's the kind of like confidence that you kind of want to, you know, have.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Well, but also at the same token, I always hear, and I love the adage of, you know, if I'm the most talented person in the room, or if I'm the smartest person in the room, or if I'm the richest person in the world, or the richest person in the room, then I'm in the wrong room.
That's right.
Right.
So there's also a balance.
There's a balance.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where it's at, where it's like you don't want to be the absolute best vocalist or the absolute best piano player, right, in that space, because then once you're the best, then what more are you working towards?
Right.
You know, and that plays into a lot of the creative process, you know, and we're now, you know, we're in the world of XTelAviv. We're in your studio.
This is my studio.
You know, and it's a beautiful facility too, dude. I love what you've done, especially the power of making a home studio.
Right. I've talked about like a lot about this before. Like I feel like this is like the future. Like like having these kinds of setups. Like I'm not saying the band is like the rock band, I guess, is dead. You could say that, but I will never say that the band itself is dead. Like you'll always have rappers. I feel like rappers are a lot more open-minded. Like rappers and R&B artists, like where they'll incorporate like musicians. What I really hate, what I don't like, is the musician mentality, and I've seen too much of this. Like you could go to any Guitar Center and really like where it's like, oh, if I can't play it on guitar, then I'm not gonna listen to it. You feel me? Like there's like you've heard that mentality, and it's like it's like a musical like elitist mentality. Like like you hear it like old heads, metal heads, like you know what I mean? It definitely crosses genre.
And honestly, I love this band so much. I as a music purist and as someone who I think really pushes the culture forward in the rock genre, right? I think like Dave Grohl, I think like Foo Fighters, right?
Right.
But I see him very much as a music purist. I see him as a rock purist.
Right.
Where exactly, I don't know if he's gonna want to be in a room with Quavo of the Migos and like be able to sympathize and talk trap music, right? Because it's like, what's trap music doing to like advance music and like the purity of music, or at least with rock music and playing music and you know, real instruments, right? And actually orchestrating songs again.
The instruments will never die. You'll always have that. And like
Yeah.
I feel like it is coming full circle with everything. You do have like Anderson .Paak, and you do have like
Love Anderson.
what Bruno Mars. I don't know why I forgot his name, but like just
Mhm.
incorporating all these bands and having all these
Yeah.
setups. Post Malone. Post Malone is interesting because I was talking to someone who I was recording or helping him on his project, and he was like, I'm like, what? So what are your plans for everything? He's like, oh, I'm just trying to wait for like rap to die, and I'm like, homie, rap's not gonna die.
Rap's never gonna. Rap's the new
That's
rock
not
and roll,
no,
man.
this is what it is. Like
Yeah.
I told him like whatever you have to do to understand what it is that's the what everyone likes, like what's popular right now, to incorporate it to what you do,
Yeah.
and to make a happy medium to where you like it, where you're pandering to people but you're not like contradicting your like
Mhm.
your ethics, whatever, musical ethics, whatever the fuck. But it's like I feel like Post Malone is a happy medium because he does cater to that crowd, that R&B, that hip hop crowd, but at the same time he's like, nah, I don't feel like I'm rapping. A lot of his songs incorporate guitar. He has bands for his live performances. You feel me?
Mhm.
Like it's a very happy medium, and I do respect him a lot for that kind of setup. Like things are moving so fast now with the internet, with the way people set up studios like this, with like just everything. The fact that 99% of all music that's being put out right now, and that's like a big percentage, like that's a made up percentage, but is all
A large portion of it.
yeah, a large portion is synthetic instruments. I
Mhm.
think that that on top of everything, like To Pimp a Butterfly is like considered a classic. It only
Mhm.
came out like 5 years ago.
So true.
You know what I
And
mean?
what has a Pulitzer?
Yeah,
Like
that's
what or Kendrick won a Pulitzer Prize for his work on it.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like that blows me away. Like it was never like that. It's moving so fast. You have like the speed at which everything moves. It's so unbelievable. And like I feel like there's a real like mindset, mentality, atmosphere. There's like a real atmosphere out in the industry where it's like anyone, you can't sleep on anyone because anyone can come out with a banger off tops,
Oh, true.
like for no reason, like and like
But that's the
I
culture that we're in now. We have that where before, if you wanted to get a song out to the world, the only way to do that was going to be on the radio or
no,
to make it and give it to a DJ in the club, right? The DJ was the master of what was hot. But now, anyone, you're in control of your own destiny. You can make your own stuff right here on a laptop. You don't even need the piano and the guitars that you have here in this studio. You
no.
literally just need this thing with a Wi-Fi hotspot. You don't even need your own Wi-Fi. If you could just hotspot it,
go to Starbucks,
go to Starbucks and upload that bug onto SoundCloud, you're done.
No, it's never been easier. It's never been like it's never been more available to anybody. That's why there's like it's what I call this like the Renaissance, because right now we're in a Renaissance. I don't know if anyone even realizes it, but there's so much of an influx of any genre. Like I'm not saying, and I'm saying that rock is dead, but it's just dead from like the mainstream, because there are rock bands that are playing, but like they're so niche. Like there's so many niche markets out there. Like if you make something that people can get behind and like, you will always have an audience. You will always have like a market,
So
just with the internet and everything.
if we're talking product, if we're talking what we're creating, who is your audience and what are you creating for them?
Ooh. So what I aim to do is the people that I want to market towards are, I don't know, just like-minded people that feel the same way I do. Like there's a lot of dis like well contempt that I have. Like I'm like what I want them to get out of it is an experience. I feel like I want to elicit like the most powerful response being like an emotional one. Like I was kind of talking about this with a friend of mine, with psychologist or psychiatrist, whatever the fuck,
Mm.
talking about like how they wish they were able to do something that was as influential as music, because music is the most powerful thing. Like there's nothing like music will shape the way you talk, the way you think, the
Yeah,
way you act, the way you dress.
man.
You know what I mean? It's like it shapes you. Like I can tell you when I first when music first hit me the way it did, like it like I thought everything I was doing prior to that was stupid. Like
Yeah,
there was some kind of enlightenment. You know what I mean?
yeah. When was that moment?
It was.
I can say for
It
me it was
was
like 5th grade,
so
right? Like,
yeah.
like,
No.
when was that? When was that moment?
So
for you?
I was in a band in high school, and I didn't really take it serious. It was just something I kind of did because I like just to have friends,
Yeah.
just to kick it with them. And I picked up guitar when I was like 17.
Yeah.
Like it was in the summer of like going into my senior year, and I'm flipping through channels, and there was a I was just playing guitar on my couch. I wasn't even like really like trying to do anything. Like I was just playing guitar on my couch, just watching TV. Um, Whatever on my cable, they had like free things that you could watch and free music videos. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll watch that. Try to
Yeah.
find new music,
Yeah.
whatever. Not really trying to do anything. It's it's during the summer. I'm sitting on the couch. I click. Oh, the Strokes. I've heard of the Strokes.
Oh
You know,
man.
like
Yeah.
I've never really like Reptilia. I played that on Guitar Hero, whatever.
I
So
played it on Guitar
yeah, I
Hero.
played it on Guitar
That's
Hero.
what I say. I'm
Yeah,
just like, I played a Guitar Hero.
yeah.
I know the Scorpions.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I play it, and it's this live performance with Jules Holland, and Jules Holland. It's this British show, this UK show
Mhm.
where they have 3 bands in a giant room, and they all take turns playing.
Yeah.
So the other two bands that were playing were the Flaming Lips and Kitty Power. Kitty Power being some jazz, neo jazz, whatever, and Flaming Lips being this weird progressive rock band. And the Strokes were there, and me watching the Strokes for the first time, it was it was the most mind blowing. Like it was so unbelievable because it's like
Mhm.
it's something I've never seen before in my life. I had an idea of what a rock band looked like in my head, and I never even thought about it. And I watching the Strokes perform, watching this 5-piece setup, like everyone looks fucking cool. Everyone looks fucking
Yeah.
rad. Everyone
Yeah.
looks like, and everyone's contributing to whatever to the song, to the dynamics of the song.
Mhm.
And I'm just watching this, and it's like I never thought about it, but like that's what a rock band needs to look
Mm.
like. They have like they had the name was perfect.
Yeah.
The look is perfect. Everything they had, I can't really attest to it now, but like it's definitely at that time in that place and moment in history, I thought they were perfect,
Wow.
and that blew me away.
Yeah.
You know,
And that was the moment that hit you.
that was the moment that it hit me.
Wow. I love that. No, because I remember for me it was like watching like Soul Train growing up
Right.
and seeing those performers, like not seeing the Jacksons live, but even going back because they had that the reruns, and just my dad would always have Soul Train on, even the newer artists, right?
Right.
So then when you're seeing, when I think Jagged Edge went on there one time, and I was like, oh, this is like the dopest thing. This is like
Fucking
when,
rad.
this is like when Where the Party At came out. I was like, yo, this is like the coolest thing ever to see this live,
Right.
or to see like Drew Hill on Soul Train and things like that. And so I I don't know. I am such a fan of those musical moments. So what are the musical moments that you're creating in 2019 as far as what you're creating content wise, and as far as music, what can we expect?
No, I'm gonna be releasing a music video every month, along with what the fuck, some little live performance or wherever.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
I love that in your live performances, right? And we were talking about culture. We we talked about, you not exactly being Jewish or the racial ambiguity, and everyone's like, what is it, right? But you said that you're Mexican. You have a lot of pride in that, like
I really do.
and you very much should, like, Viva la Raza all day.
Viva la raza. Yeah, Viva la raza.
Viva la Raza, bro, like all day.
Most definitely. You know what? Like
Todos los días. But I love that you sing in Spanish, bro. Like you sing you sing songs that I hear, like, that I could hear the Strokes singing, right? But then it's like I listen and I'm hearing like just like beautiful love songs sung in Spanish, and it's amazing.
a lot of the stuff that I've been listening to recently has been corridos and just like banda shit. Because they're like they do a lot of things different that I don't think like American, markets do. American like artists. Growing up that way, it's not really like for the most part. It's a majority of the music I would say is that I make myself is it's incidental that I'm even Mexican. I know a lot of people put a lot of their stuff, and I try to sometimes, but sometimes if it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right.
Mhm.
Other stuff I'm gonna start doing a lot of shit in Spanish. Watch. Yeah.
What role does Chicano culture.
Chicano. Oh, that
What
fuck.
what role does it play in your art and in the world of Tel Aviv?
I just, I mean, aesthetically off tops, I really like the way a lot of the mariachi, the trajes look. I like the Dia de los Muertos. I like the looks of that. Like there's a lot of stuff that I do pull. Like it's mostly like visual. Like a lot of the stuff that I pull.
Mhm.
Like growing up, kind of around like ethnocentric communities like that.
Mhm.
I never really like even like thought about it until I was like older, until someone told me
Sure.
like, "Hey, like did you realize that like everyone in your like elementary school was like you only had like one black guy and then like one white chick
Yeah.
and then everyone else was like Mexican?" I didn't even know that.
Yeah. You didn't
It's
realize it.
I didn't
Yeah.
even realize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was very like ethnocentric.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Which is strong. I mean, because I feel like that's what makes you so confident as a creative and someone who's created this world of Tel Aviv and is able to have their art almost coexist,
right.
right? In this in this Mexican culture, in this Chicano culture, in this Inland Empire culture, right? But in this art culture and in this creative and this musical culture, that is an identity all in itself. Like you see that you see that, right?
Right. I like for the most part I just want to show people things that they don't necessarily like that are foreign to them.
Hmm.
That's kind of another idea just to push things out, bring things out that people might not necessarily have seen and add my like take on it.
Yeah.
What I think about it because I do like again like I'll do banda shit like let's do it like why not fuck it like we live in a day and age where it's like we could do anything like I could put out like a trap album right now,
Yeah.
put it like make it in a week, put it out, put it on SoundCloud, it's done. Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Who cares? Like it doesn't like I don't think a lot of this matters anymore.
I love
You
it.
know,
And for your
forever.
talent, man, for your passion.
Thank you.
It really serves as um, a great mirror for my own energy and for my own work, and seeing you succeed and seeing you thrive and prosper. Um, it pushes me daily to do it, man. And,
Hell
and
yeah.
and I truly believe with this next chapter of Tel Aviv that the world is going to see a whole new narrative and a whole new um, perception
Right.
and a whole new movie that they haven't quite seen before. And I'm really excited to see it roll out.
Hell yeah.
This is the latest episode of On the Brink. My name is Malcolm Alexander Brinkley. This right here is Tel Aviv.